Hi Trevor, how are you? Everything okay with you?
Everything's great. Yourself?
Yes, I'm great. I'm great to be talking to you. The Wretch, The Ruin is Unearth's new album that will be released on the 5th of May. What can you reveal to your fans about this album?
What kind of reveal? It's a very aggressive record. I would say it's a very vicious yet melodic record. Um, it's one that took a long time to write. Buzz took a few years to really focus on the riffs on this one. And then when he handed over the songs, we agreed on some structures. We worked on structures together. And then I noticed the songs were so good that it made me have to step up my vocal game as well, because it he went above and beyond. He didn't lean on the same tendencies he would do in the past. So you can tell it sounds like Unearth, but it definitely sounds different from our other records. So he brought new ideas to the table, which then caused me to bring new flavors of vocal change to the record. So it's a very dynamic, very melodic, but extremely heavy and angry album.
Yeah, and you were just talking about your changes in your vocal approach. What exactly did new in this album?
Um, I've added some more cleans. I added a Gregorian chant on the title track of the record. Um, I haven't really done cleans with this band very often. On our EP in 2002 called Endless, I did the vocals on that song. I didn't follow it up on the full length version of the song. And then on our last record, Extinctions, I sang on a song called One with the Sun. But also on top of adding different styles of clean vocals, um, I did add higher highs and some different sounding lows than I've ever had. I'm just trying to be as diverse as possible as vocalist, and the intent going into this album was to be the best vocalist I could be, and add the most amount of sounds for the listener to digest. And I think Will and I helped, really captured a lot of different sounds of this record. And one of my idols, the first guy I actually wanted to sound like was Chuck Billy from Testament. And I think that he's the best in the game because he does a whole range of different voices and he does them all very well.
Yeah.
He's a great death metal singer, but he can also sing like an angel. And he's got all these other flavors, right? All in the whole line of vocal delivery. And it's been my intention to improve as a vocalist to get to his level.
And do you think you succeeded in this album, or do you still need to improve more in further
Chuck,
albums?
Chuck's the best, but this is my best record for sure.
Yeah, and are you planning on keeping that own variety of Regis for the next album?
I'm going to continue to improve. A big reason I improve on top of taking vocal lessons and having a vocal coach, Melissa Cross. I don't speak to very often, but I can call her when I need some help. Is I play acoustic guitar and I sing, and I've been doing that since my daughter was born almost 10 years ago. And I've noticed that that's really helped open up my vocal range. So instead of it being squashed into a small box where I'm just pushing out, trying to be just a heavy metal hardcore vocalist, it's really opened up my vocal range quite a bit. And the more I do that, the better I get at what I do in the in metal.
Yeah, practice makes perfect. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And The Wretch in the Ruins is a very curious name for an album, especially because of the damn little comma, semi-comma in the middle of the title. Why did you decide to choose it?
It was lyrics in it's a song title. It's the lyrics, and it really sums up the record as a whole. So the whole record is about the climate crisis we are living in and what we're going to see in the not so distant future. The sole blame of the climate crisis is on human beings and our refusal to change fast enough to improve our own habitat. And so the wretched, the ruinous, that is us. Um, we are the wretched, we are the ruinous, we are the enders of all life. That lyric really summed up the record as a whole. So that's why I chose that title for the album.
Yeah, and it's a great title. It kind of reminded me. I thought that it was somehow connected to, for example, last Megadeth album. It was the sick, the dying, and now the wretched, the ruinous. No connection there.
No, no connection at all.
No. Okay.
I know a lot of bands are singing about the climate. Um, Art usually reflects where society is. It has been that way throughout history. And so I've seen some people say, well, there's so many bands talking about the subject. Well, there's a reason why, because we are in a climate crisis and we're literally shouting from the rooftops like, hey, let's make a change here. And but there's a lot of ways to make that change. But yeah,
Yeah.
whereas I didn't take anything from Megadeth, great band, grew up loving them. This is solely us. I believe
Yeah.
our record was even out or named before that record, their album was out. So I was
Mhm.
unaware.
Yeah, and so you have the rest of the arenas prepared for a long time now.
Yeah, I finished singing it in June of last year. Music was done December of 2021. We had some delays with scheduling to get me in to finish the vocals, and then we couldn't decide on artwork for a little while. Then we finally hired Alex Goulet, who did a great job on the cover. He's done all the single covers as well, so we're very happy to have found him. There's other delays as well, so like with every release, if things don't go smoothly, then it causes delays. So, but the record's been done for a while.
Yeah, and why did you only decided to release it now? And it has been ready for almost a year.
There was just delays with art and with other things.
Okay.
We just couldn't get together. And plus, we had some member changes, which caused a bit of a hiccup in our operation. And so we had to spend some time finding who the replacements would be. It didn't take all that long to find them because we just got our old drummer Mike Justin back, and then Peter Lehman on guitar was really the first guy we called because he had filled in for us years ago, and he was going to be Buzz's replacement back in 2005 when Buzz was going to leave Unearth for a job he had at the time, and he reconsidered shortly after. But we liked Peter a lot. I signed Peter's band Apiary to the record label I used to run called Ironclad Recordings years ago. And we haven't been in touch with him too often lately, but we knew he was a great guy. And as soon as we signed him on for the first tour after the first show, we're like, man, this guy's great. He's a shredder. He's a really, really excellent person, professional, and a really hard worker. So it's been a pleasure to reunite with him, as well as
Yeah,
Mike. Mike Justin's a beast on drums, man. It's so fun to have him back behind there.
and how was the process of bringing Mike back into the band?
That was the easiest one because we parted with Nick. Nick told us he didn't want to continue with the band last March, and it blindsided us a bit, but it didn't really matter that much because we've had so many drummers over the years. So Buzz and I were talking, and we're like, all right, who we gonna get? We tossed around guys who had filled in for us before, and I'm like, all right, that could be cool, but it didn't feel right. It's like, let's call Mike because we fired Mike 15 years ago. We were in our 20s. We weren't getting along with him, but he was always a great drummer. And so we're like, we know he's killing it with Madball. He hasn't left music. So we called him up and he was into giving it a shot. And as soon as same with Peter, as soon as we started playing live, like, man, this feels like we never took a break. We're older and wiser, and we're getting along much better than we did back then. And he's from the same area of Massachusetts that we're from, so it's like he's cut from the same cloth. So it's been great to have him back, and we have to share him with Madball. We love Madball, huge fans of the band. So it might be some times when Mike isn't with us, and vice versa for Madball. We kind of have an arrangement going, very friendly one. Yeah, Mike's great, man. He's a lot of fun to play to, and his performance level on stage is unparalleled. He gets up on the monitor, he jumps down. He's a showman on top of a killer drummer. So it's been fun.
Yeah, he's an incredible drummer. And he already played in this album, right? Because I don't think Peter did play in this album yet.
No, so
The recordings.
Nick Pierce recorded the record. Nick did a great job on the album. Mike's been playing the songs live, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the record is only Buzz on guitar. Buzz did all the guitar parts. Chris O'Toole on bass, who's been in the band since 2014, and then Nick Pierce on drums, and I did all the vocals. Will Putney actually has a guest vocal. He's one of the voices in the chant at the end of the Wretched the Ruinous title track. Because we wanted to give it some more depth and just different voices. So live, three of us do it. Me, Peter, myself, and Chris. We do like a 3-part harmony at the end there, which we've never done that live or on record before. So it's been fun to add that into the mix as well.
Yeah, and so you already played some of these songs live.
We've only played the Wretched the Ruinous live, but on this upcoming tour of Europe, first show is April 1st in Germany. We're gonna debut Mother Betrayal live. And then later during the tour, Into the Abyss will be a single, and we were going to start playing that one live as well. And we haven't quite decided on the fourth single. It's tough to pick a fourth single. We like all the songs. We're leaning towards a couple of them, but we'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, that indeed will be a great pick. But how have the reactions to the Wretch and the Ruinous been as you played it live from the crowd?
It was insane from the first time we played it. It definitely is a crowd pleaser. It starts out right away. It's a fierce start. It sounds like the opening of a set with the ring out of the drums and guitar, and then it just kicks right in. And as soon as we played it in Japan for the first time, that was the first time we played it in June. That's what that video was shot, was in Japan, Tokyo, and people just started losing their minds to it. It's like, all right, well, this is going well. And then we played it in Australia and then Taiwan right after the Japanese tour. So it's seems to be a crowd favorite so far, and we'll keep it going. And the response online has been killer, getting a lot of views on YouTube and a lot of streams on all the different platforms out there.
Yeah. Now, going back to the album, how was your composition process to this album?
So it's been this way for a while, probably since 2011, I guess, is when we did Darkness in the Light. Is that we didn't have a drummer that lived near us anymore, so we didn't actually rehearse the songs. We would just trade files over email, and Buzz did all the writing for this record. So he would just write songs, put them to a drum machine on his home computer on an arrangement that he thought. He would email them over to us, and then whoever wanted to contribute, criticism or constructive criticism would email back, and we'd kind of make some changes. And that was basically it. And we gave them all to our producer, Will Putney. He then put his stink on it and what arrangements he thinks should go where. And then once that final product is done, at this whole time I'm working on vocal patterns and just trying to get ideas, but I don't put the lyrics down until the song is finished. And then that's when I get it and I digest it entirely. And then I get a vibe for the song, and then I write the lyrics. That's how it's been going now for over a decade, and that's how it went this time.
Yeah, and so it also worked that way during the pandemic. It wasn't really strange for you to have to trade files via email and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, same thing. And maybe the first 8 to 10 months of the pandemic, we didn't do anything. Buzz was writing quietly, and we were very quiet. I think we were a little burnt out as a band at that time. We've been touring pretty consistently. We toured right into the pandemic. We were actually in Europe when it started. We got home in early March 2020. And it cut our album cycle in half. And I think we just were like, all right, let's just take a short break. And it turned into a pretty extended break. But then once we got back into it, Buzz was on fire, and he wrote some killer songs.
Yeah. And The Wretch in the Ruin really shows that it's an incredible album. You should
Thank
be
you.
really proud, I think.
Appreciate it.
Now, which are your touring plans for this album?
We're touring a lot more than we have in many years. It's starting already. We leave in about 10 days. We're going to do a 3-week tour in Europe called the Unearth tour. We're headlining that April 1 through 21. Unfortunately, it's not coming down to your area. We tried to make it down there, but the routing and the bands on the tour, it just wasn't able to happen. Which is a bummer, because you're from Portugal, correct?
Yeah, yes.
We haven't played Portugal, I think, since 2015, and that was a lot of fun. We were there with Arch Enemy and played Lisbon and Porto. Man, Porto, what a beautiful city! One of my favorite cities in the world.
Yeah, it's actually where I am right now.
Really,
Yeah,
Buzz jumped off that bridge, not the really big one, the next to it. He saw
yeah.
someone dive off of it, and he was like, "I'm gonna do it." And he just took his shirt off and jumped in, and he landed, I think, on his back, so his back was all red. The whole back. He had a couple of beers, and I think he made a mistake, but he was all right. Um, Beautiful place. Um, yeah. So then after that tour, we come home for about 10 days, and we head out for about a month for North American tour, headlining about 2/3 of the month. Then we meet up with the Halo Effect to do about 7 days with them, and we end at Milwaukee Metal Fest. Then again, we're home for about 2.5 weeks, and then we head back to Europe for a bunch of festivals, mid-June to early July. And after that, things are up in the air, but there'll be a lot of touring. So hopefully, if the record continues to be received well, hopefully the right tours come our way, and we'll come to Porto, hopefully.
Yes, that would be great. I would love to see you here. Now, you have almost 25 years of career under your belt. What can the fans still expect from you and from Unearth?
Another 25 more. So we're hoping, man. We love what we do. We realize we're very lucky to be able to travel the world playing music, and we do not take it for granted. We take our craft very seriously, and our writing very seriously, and our live performance very seriously. So you'll see us live, giving it our all every time. Every show we play, it could be our last. So we play like it's our last. We have as much fun, but give as much energy as we can. And so this album cycle won't be any different. When there's budget, we were going to bring production, because we know that, times are changing. We need to give more of an entertainment, but end of the day, I think our energy really is what speaks the most to people. But as far as songs go, we'll be heavily supporting the new songs, but also realize that we have 7 songs in our catalog, 7 albums in our catalog that people might want to hear songs from. So we're going to try to play at least 1 or 2 songs from every record, and maybe 3 or 4 from more of the fan favorite records, like In the Eyes of Fire and The Oncoming Storm.
Yeah, make a good ratio of last album and your classics. It's always a great way. Yeah.
We're breaking out some songs we haven't played in a long time. There's a song from our record, Darkness in the Light. There's a song called Arise the War Cry that I don't think we've played since 2014 or 2015. So we're breaking out some older ones that haven't seen the light of day in a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be a great set list, I'm sure of that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, apart from Unearth, are you in any other project right now? Or are you planning on starting any other side project?
I have my solo acoustic thing that I don't have any plans to write or I'm sorry, to release anything. I just do that for fun and to better improve my own voice. I've played at my kids' preschool a couple of times for the kids, but no other projects. There's always talks of doing stuff. I've done a couple of guest appearances. I did one recently on a record by a band called Armed for Apocalypse. And then a couple of years ago, I did a guest spot for a German hardcore band called Additional Time. So I'll do guest spots once in a while for friends. There's some other stuff that I might work on, but as of right now, there's nothing in the works.
Yeah, and as anything comes, I'm sure everybody will love it. You're extremely talented, and this album proves it once more, as you're
Appreciate it.
also
Thank you.
evolving too. And well, Trevor, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Would you like to send any message to your Portuguese fans?
Yeah, Portugal. We hope to come see you soon. We love your country. Thank you for the support over the years, and we hope to see you very soon. Check out our record, The Wretch of the Ruinous, when it comes out in May.
All right, man. Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Appreciate it. Same here, man. Have a good one.